more with us, okay? And as we watch Corey bowl today, I would categorize Corey as a number 3 bowler. His rev rate and his ball speed match very well. Corey has a multitude of bowling balls, but what we want to show you today is an example of what if you don't have 4 balls? What if you don't have 6 balls? Maybe you only have 2 balls, okay? And we can set this entire system up as if you have 2 balls, that's fine. So what 2 balls do we have here? I would say to you, what ball do you have set up for more oil than the other ball?
The dimension.
Okay, some more oil. So we have the dimension here, and you can see it has a little bit of a matte finish on it. Okay, do you know what surface is on it? So he's got 500 on that ball. So let's put that in, let's put that right here. And then obviously this ball has a little more of a shine to it. You know what surface is on it?
That's 2,000.
Okay, so he's got 2,000 on this ball. This would handle a drier lane. The higher the number of the grit, the more the ball should travel down the lane before it breaks. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and look at the system, putting Corey in a number 3 class. And now understand, he's on wood in a little bit drier lane condition. So if I only have 2 balls, but I have 4 categories, what I would probably do for Corey, because he's got a fair amount of reps on the bowling ball, I would move, I got to pick what category I'm going to put these balls in. So I don't want, for him, in this environment, a ball for heavy oil. It's going to be useless. So what I would do probably is make this a medium dry surface and make this a dry surface. Corey's got plenty of rotation. He's having no trouble hooking the ball in this environment. If he was going to a house that had synthetics, and we anticipated we're going to have more oil, then I may categorize his ball different. He only has 2 in this scenario, what we're talking about. I may set one up for heavy oil, one up for medium heavy. I would probably do it medium heavy and medium dry. Okay, that's probably the difference. The other thing you can take into consideration is how versatile is the player. Corey's also one of the top bowlers in our area. He's very versatile. He can move around a lot. He can adjust to different lane conditions. So if you only took 2 balls, I would probably set one up on a synthetic lane condition or a pro-amble lane for a medium heavy and a dry lane condition to give him a little bit more separation between the balls. All right, so in fact, I think what we're going to do here today, because we're on wood, I'm going to go medium heavy and dry. All right, so let's go back, check as a number 3 category, medium heavy and dry lane. We'll put that surface on and we'll get the separation. Okay, when we look at our chart on page 22 of the manual, and we look at, he is a category 3. You don't have to memorize this, that's why I put it in there for you. And he's bowling on wood today with a typical house shot, so they're hooking a little bit. If I'm setting up a 2-ball arsenal for Corey, because he is a number 3 category, I'm going to take his more aggressive ball, and I'm going to put that as a medium heavy ball. So in this case, I've given you 3 options: gray pad, 1000 grit, or 1200 grit. The reason for the 3 options would be what surface is he bowling on the lane. So because he's on wood, I'm going to go with 1200 grit on this ball. And then on his dry lane ball, because he's on wood, I'm going to go polish. All right, so this is his oil ball. Let's go with 1200 grit, and then we'll go back and check the separation. Also, one thing to point out, as your paper gets worn out, discard it. Because if it starts fresh at 1200, that doesn't mean 10 balls from now you're still getting 1200. If you need more supplies, you can go to our website and order them. Use nothing but good quality sandpaper. So again, I put the grip facing up. And we're going to put a little bit of water on this one to show you can wet sand. We're going to cup of water here because whatever the chemistry was of this bowling ball, it's actually clogging the grit of the sandpaper. That water's keeping the sandpaper clean. So it's allowing the grit of the paper to cut down into the surface of the bowl. Because I made it wet, we get a fresh towel, just dry it off. Flip it over. To the other side. And now, for the dry lane ball, we're going to go with polish. Now, if this ball was dull sanded, I can't go from dull sanded to polish, but he does have a pretty good shine on it, so in this case I think we can handle that and get away with it. What I did in my pro shop business is we would take our towels and we would actually take black magic marker and we would number, we put on there polish. We'd write it on there, or compound. So that way, if somebody else is using your spinner, you know, don't use one into the other or it'll contaminate it. So we got the extreme shine, put it on there, pretty decent amount. And actually I take my left hand and I hold the towel, that keeps it from flying out of my hand. It makes it easier to do the job. I'm using pretty strong pressure, I'd say medium heavy pressure. Because what I really want to do is I want to bring the temperature up of the ball. I want to heat it up. I want to burn that polish into the ball. Alright, because we use polish, we're going to clean it off a little bit. Just to take that film off the ball. By doing that, it saves you about 3 to 6 shots out on the lane. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to get an accurate read for a few shots until that little film burns away. Obviously, with less surface on the ball got much more length down the lane before it turned the corner. And if we do have it in your system there, depending on where the ball hits at the pins, will tell you whether you have the right ball in your hand and you have the right surface. So, Corey's very versatile. He's going to move his feet until he hits the pocket. How many boards did you move? That's 9. Okay, so probably not enough. And it may not be enough. So he has 9 boards difference between the ball he has set up for more oil to the ball he has set up for less oil. 9 boards further to the right with his feet. The more versatile the player, the less balls you can get away with, but the more separation you're going to have between. So he's got 11 boards. That was a better look. So that's how much separation you can do between balls. 11 boards.